Hello, and welcome to the first lecture on the new subject in this section on understanding business needs and KPI in this course, data analysis and data analytics. So in this section, we'll help you learn an in-depth view of understanding business needs and KPIs. As an analyst, how do you understand the business needs and KPI? That's what we will talk about. And for that, you need to work closely with business teams to identify relevant matrices. And how can you do that is what we will talk about in this lecture. So first, let's understand that working closely with business teams to identify relevant metrics is important to understand the business needs and KPI, and that helps you align your analytics with the business goals, right? So that's the importance of working closely with business teams. Now, how can you work closely with business teams to identify relevant metrics? Any thoughts? So first, let's understand again the background of this. Now, to effectively use data analytics and business intelligence, you must align your analysis with the business needs. And how do you do that? By identifying KPIs and relevant metrics. So that's the importance of identifying KPIs and importance because it helps you analyze your analysis with the business needs. And that allows you to continue to work for the business for longer time, right? So how do you do that? What steps do you need to take to, identify, work these KPIs and relevant matrices? And so let's take a look at that. The first step is to understand business goals and needs. Yeah, and you start by meeting with the stakeholders, consisting of executives, managers, and department leads, to basically understand their objectives and challenges. Two different things. What do they want to achieve, and what are the difficulties that they're having in achieving their objectives? So you try and understand. Now, how can you do that? You ask many questions to the business teams. Now you ask questions like what are the company's main business goals? Whether it is increasing revenue, reducing cost, improving customer satisfaction. Then what are the challenges that are preventing goal achievement? Is it operational inefficiencies, high churn rate, low sales conversion? Which decisions depend on data like hiring, inventory management, marketing strategy, and what insights are missing from the current reports in terms of lack of real-time data, unclear performance tracking, etc., etc. A marketing team may struggle to measure the ROI on digital ad campaigns, right? So that's how you understand the goals and challenges. Second step would be to identify the key business areas and their KPIs. Once you have a good understanding of the business needs, you need to identify the key performance indicator, which are the quantifiable performance measure for each department. And what are some of these? So for sales and revenue, key KPIs could be revenue growth, conversion rates, customer lifetime value, and because they track the business growth and sales effectiveness. For marketing, it could be cost per lead, click-through rates, and ROI and ad spend because they measure marketing effectiveness. For customer support department, business area, it could be customer satisfaction score, net promoter score, or first time response because that improves the customer experience and customer stay with you. Then there is operations and supply chain in which you have order fulfillment, inventory turnover, and defect rate as key KPIs, and they help you reduce cost and improve efficiency of the operations and supply chain. And for human resources, it could be employee retention rate, time to hire, training ROI, etc. Because these KPIs, tracking these, ensures workforce productivity and engagement. Now, a retail business may track, as an example, the KPIs, inventory turnover rate, basically to optimize stock levels and avoid overstocking or shortages. So that's how you identify key business areas and their KPIs. The third step would be to define select and define the SMART KPIs. SMART meaning specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Specific is in terms of they clearly define what is being measured. Second, measurable, that you are able to use data to track the progress. Achievable, ensuring that it is realistic based on the resources. Relevant, meaning it aligns with the business objectives. And time bound means this is by times, you have set deadlines or time frames. So a good example of that would be, instead of tracking increased customer engagement, a smart KPI would be increase website conversion rate by 2% to 4% within 6 months. So that's how you need to select and define the smart KPIs. The fourth would be to use data analytics tools to track KPIs. Once these KPIs are defined, you need to implement BI and analytics tools to track performance in real time. And what are the popular KPI tracking tools and dashboards? Let us take a look at them. So Power BI and Tableau is one which is great for interactive KPI dashboards. Google Data Studio for free marketing and web analytics dashboards. The evergreen Excel pivot tables and charts are small business KPI tracking. Looker and Domo are cloud-based enterprise scale BI, and SQL and BigQuery are querying large data sets for KPI reporting. For example, as an example, a sales team will use Power BI dashboards to track weekly revenue growth and customer acquisition cost. So that's how you can use data analytics tools to track KPI. The fifth would be to collaborate and refine matrices continuously, because nothing is stationary or nothing is permanent as such. Now, KPIs should evolve as business goals and market conditions change, and you need to set up regular reviews with business teams. Now, what are the best practices for KPI reviews? Schedule, monthly or quarterly reviews and adjust KPI based on the performance. Then encourage cross-team collaboration. Ensure marketing, sales, finance, and operation teams align with each other. Then you need to make sure that you use real-time dashboards, and there you need to provide live insights instead of static reports. And test and validate matrices. Ensure that KPIs are actionable and drive results. How would a customer service team do this task? So customer teams will notice that reducing first response rates leads to higher customer satisfaction scores using some of these methods that we talked about. And then it knows what to do, right? So collaborate and refine matrices continuously. As a summary, let's look at the steps to identify business needs and KPI. The first would be to understand business goals, where you interview stakeholders to define challenges. Then you identify key metrics. You select KPIs relevant for different departments, and then you define the SMART KPI, ensure they are measurables and goal oriented. Then use BI and analytics tools to track and visualize KPIs effectively, and then review and optimize regularly to keep refining matrices for continuous improvement. So what do we do next? So having looked at how to work closely with business teams to identify relevant matrices, to understand business needs and KPI, we will now look at how to use data to solve real world problems in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on understanding business needs and KPI. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.